We're going to go on to our next one. It's going to be agree or disagree.
Oh, now it's time for some fun.
Yay.
All right. Ashley, do you know how this works?
I think so.
Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you disagree. Then we discuss.
Okay.
So Curtis, our friend, is going to read us some statements, not questions.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And we're going to discuss. And it doesn't always necessarily mean it's
Should I do it in my announcer voice for once?
Yeah, let me hear it. But only if you don't stutter. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Ready?
All right. Mario is the greatest mascot of all time.
Mario is the greatest mascot of all time.
For video? Like,
Oh,
just
like
in
Of all
general?
time. You
All
heard
time.
the
Dude.
statement?
Yeah. It's not Krampus, dude.
Yes.
Sorry.
So we got to agree from me, a disagree from Ashley.
Yeah.
Let me think
Ricky's
about this
thinking.
one.
So remember, if you disagree, it means you're going to have to think of one that's better.
I already have one.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Oh, I
Can't
already
think of
know.
anything. I'm just going to agree. I'm just
Agree?
gonna think of something else.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay, let's go. So two
Ricky.
disagrees, two agrees. Ashley, what is your disagree?
So, what do you mean by mascot? I should ask.
Mascot, anything. It could be
like a-
Mrs. Butterworth for all we care.
Okay.
A mascot
No,
for a company.
The best mascot of all time is Swoop, the Ute mascot for the Utes, the Utah Utes. That's it.
I don't know the words you just said.
We're using the
Swoop-
Utah team. It's a
Swoop is
Utah
our
college team.
mascot,
I
our
would
college
disagree,
football
man.
mascot.
I literally thought you were singing
The
the Connie
greatest-
song. Swoop,
There it is.
dee whoop, dee
No,
whoop, dee
no,
whoop, dee swoop.
no.
Ashley, you're one of my favorite people I've ever met. That was one of the worst answers I've ever heard.
Well, I have to give a shout out to my Utes.
Okay, to your hometown. I
just have
appreciate you
to.
being loving to your
I
home.
love
As much as I disagree with that.
As
Ricky,
much as
you
that
had to
makes
disagree
no
too.
sense.
As much as I
Anybody?
want to say Mario, because I do love Mario a lot, I'm going to say probably Mickey Mouse would
Oh,
be
the-
more.
Oh, yeah.
iconic.
I'm about to wreck
true.
all of you with this one.
Uh-oh.
I was hoping you wouldn't say Mickey Mouse.
I'll just jump in. I had an agree initially, but then I disagreed because I was going to say Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
like,
Mickey
dude, I
Mouse
was like-
trumps Mario just as iconic. Been around way
you
longer.
guys are going to forget all these words. Go ahead. Keep going.
Probably winning a fight.
Let's hear it.
Like,
Keep going. Keep going.
That's
There were
it.
statistics done.
All right. Let's see.
More children around the world recognize Mario than Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but
Really?
what
It's one, of the
about
most
Really?
it's one of the most popular mascot statistics.
Dang.
That's
Is Mario is a more recognizable character than Mickey Mouse. You could show kids all around the world Mickey Mouse and Mario. The odds of them saying Mario is
What
far
about
higher.
Pikachu? Pikachu's got to rank up there. Pokemon?
Pikachu's really up there.
Pikachu's
Obviously,
gotta
and
be up
that's
there.
me pulling out a stat, and it really just comes down to personal preference.
Yeah.
In reality,
'Cause-
for me, it's Mario though.
Because I was going to say older people are not going to say Mario. I'm
But-
going to say most people, like older people,
They're
will
gonna
say
say-
Mickey.
But I'll
Yeah.
also say,
Yeah.
that Mario has been representing Nintendo for a very long
Yes.
time with solid A to S level
I do love that.
material.
That's true.
Where
That's great.
Mickey Mouse
Mickey
has
has
Yeah, he's
fallen
right.
off.
Yeah.
Disney has
Yeah.
fallen pretty hard in the last
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah.
He's popular for
And
the wrong
Mickey in
reason.
particular, when was the last time they came out with a Mickey movie or anything?
Right.
I mean, you got
new
the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Did
Right.
anybody
That
watch
doesn't
that?
really count.
New Mickey
I
stuff.
saw a lot of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
I did
So
too.
We have our children were all about
my
the Mickey.
kids didn't ever really get
Really?
into the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. But yeah, what has Mickey been in? That's a good point.
Sounds like I just answered that. Just kidding. No, but I get it.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse was but not about Youpity Scoop or whatever you said.
Swoop the Hawk is the Utah Ute mascot.
Yo, when she said
For the
swoop
Utah-
Utes.
She's like,
Sorry.
Scoopy Yoop.
I
I'm
mean-
like,
Got
alrighty.
him.
Can you edit that out? Oh wait.
No,
No,
no
get it
edits.
out.
No.
Just a zoom
Well, my
in.
fellow Ute fans will understand.
Yes,
If
all
my-
two
That's
of
all
you.
that matters.
If my stutters have to stay in, yours has to
Yeah,
stay
you're
in.
not getting a break.
All right,
Dang it.
we're gonna go on our next
Curtis,
one
you just keep inching up.
towards the blacklist. No,
The entire blacklist just says Curtis all the way down.
It's the first time Curtis has ever inched up.
no. You're terrible. All right, we're gonna go on to our next one. It's gonna be Die Hard is considered a Christmas movie.
Oh,
Ooh. I'm saying no. Disagree. And okay, agree from Chris. Agree from
Agree
Ricky.
from me.
Disagree from me.
I've never seen Die Hard.
Okay.
Sorry, I know. But I'm going to say yes because
Wow.
I do have a really wide definition of Christmas movies. Like Lord of the Rings is a Christmas movie to me because it came out around Christmas.
Whoa.
Same with Harry Potter.
Nice.
Like, so I don't like to have such specific definitions. So yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
say, I'm going to say yes. Die Hard can be a Christmas movie.
So my disagree, as much as I don't have like a harsh answer, like it's definitely not. But for me, a Christmas movie doesn't take place around Christmas. The story is revolving around Christmas for me. For me, a storyline that revolves around Christmas, what Christmas is, the spirit of Christmas, that's like where the story arc is. That's a Christmas movie to me. Like otherwise, you know, it could say Gremlins is a Christmas movie and all this and that, which to certain people, maybe it is.
I get it.
Wait a minute. On that criteria, then Home Alone just takes place around Christmas.
No. It's all
They don't
about
really-
getting in home in time for Christmas and being home for Christmas. Everything.
Not much of it, though.
Oh, that is the biggest lie I've ever heard. Also, some say that Kevin McAllister turned out to be Jigsaw from Saw movies.
Oh.
Because he's one of the most intricate makers of traps and all this. And there was like
Dude,
there was like all this lore behind
we're
it.
connecting it back to horror.
There's a
I
ton
like
of
it.
lore
Now I even
behind
like
it.
it even
Think about
more.
that.
There's a ton of lore to
I
it.
hate when people connect like different
Dang,
things.
that
like
would
a
be
conspiracy.
awesome.
Also, Jar Jar is a Sith Lord. Just saying.
He really is.
Imagine if they made him. That would be cool if they made a movie where he did like Home Alone 4, and it's him turning into
Doing the
Saw.
traps. Do you want to play me? But yeah, so what's your reasoning for it being a Christmas movie?
I just like the change of pace from all the other traditional Christmas movies.
So, it's
it's
more
like,
of a personal preference, like
yeah, it
needs to be
obviously revolves around Christmas. They're not talking about the wholesomeness. They're
Yeah.
shooting each other and
yippee-ki-yay.
yeah, yippee-ki-yay.
So it's an
Yippee-ki-yay,
action
Merry
movie.
Christmas.
Yeah, now it is very Christmas themed.
Yes.
Do I like to watch it around Christmas? I absolutely do. Because when I'm like, oh, it's Christmas, I want to watch some movies. You know, I want to watch Rudolph, I want to watch Elf, and then I'm like, oh, I want to watch Die Hard. Like, I just want to change a pace. So
Then he switches over to Halloween.
Now let me watch them kill Santa.
no, and I like Krampus for the same reason too. Like, I do like a different change of pace. I need something other
Curtis's
than
Christmas name.
wholesomeness.
What about you? What makes it a Christmas movie for you?
I think I just watched it during Christmas so many times.
Yeah.
I just affiliated it. Like it's in the
Correct.
back of my head. That's all it is.
That's a
Yeah.
good point, though. I think maybe that is
Same with me. That's-
situational.
yeah.
If your family
Situation.
watches it around Christmas, it feels like a Christmas movie.
Yes.
And dude, it's always on cable at Christmas time. That's the only time I see it on. I'm like, oh, it's on again. Hell, let's put it on.
Yeah, for sure. Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter are not. going up.
Curtis,
going
we
up.
now have front and back Curtis on the list.
Blacklist.
I can't even think of how he talks. Dang it.
I can't even.
No, all right, we're gonna go on to our next one. That was a good Jar Jar, dude. All right.
Yeah, I'll take it as Jar Jar.
It sounded like-
That was your
that was
Smeagol.
Smeagol?
Yeah. Jar Jar can do triple backflips. He's a Sith Lord.
That sounded close though. All right, we're
you.
gonna go on to our next one. It's gonna be video games now are better than games in the 90s.
Video games now are better than games in the 90s. Rough answer. There's a lot to dice with this.
Come on, hey, we gotta figure it out.
Disagree.
Disagree.
I agree.
Agree. Ashley likes them better now.
I do. Well,
Wait. Where's Ricky's guess first? Vote first, then Ashley.
Really
does.
into it right now.
I really am into this.
Video games
because
now.
Is this? I gotta complicate this just a little bit. Like let's say there's they redid Mario RPG, and I'm gonna
That counts
rate
as
this
now.
one.
That counts
okay,
as now.
Okay, so I'll go with yes.
Okay.
Ricky.
Defend yourself.
Not even real retro gamers.
I
No.
Hey,
Picked up.
Ricky, we got to get you out of the SoCal Gaming Expo, bro. Just kidding. No, go ahead, Ashley. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I want to say real quick, because I'm sure everyone watching or listening is like, why is this clothing seller here? I do love to play video games. I love it. I play it with my kids. We love Zelda. We love 100% Breath of the Wild, 100% Tears of the Kingdom. We love Mario, and Hollow Knight.
You
and
by all means, I can say
love
behind the
them.
scenes.
Yeah,
are a
okay,
gamer.
yeah.
We've
Riff
talked in
knows.
many details where I'm like,
Yeah.
how does she know that?
I know,
Like,
I know all of it. Yeah, Ocarina of Time with my brother. Love games. So as much as gosh, I guess like the new games, I just love having my Switch and playing Hollow Knight, and just the immersiveness, how long they are, the complexity, the puzzles. I just feel like it's only improved over time. Although I love a good nostalgic Mario game, you know. So, but I do find myself playing the new ones. So
nice.
Okay, Ricky.
Dude, I love the old games, but I do like I appreciate the old games so much. But something about like the new graphics I love, like Blazing Chrome. Like, dude, you know this. Like, how good is that game?
Great game. It's
Cuphead.
Cuphead's a great game.
So all these games, they were without those games, without the retro games, they wouldn't be born. But now they're like to this extent where it's amazing. Mario Wonder, I finally played it today.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Mario Wonder is so good.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yes, the ones back then were so great, but nowadays there's so many options. Like Like you can do so many more things.
I agree.
It just
I get
makes
that.
it so good.
Now for the real answers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll tell them how.
Yeah,
it
we'll
is.
let them know. Go ahead.
So the graphics, of course, are way better. The complexity is way better.
So you agree then?
Well, those things are better, but whether they are actually better, like,
Is relative.
It is relative, of course. But if I can play a new game and thoroughly enjoy it, but I can play a '90s game and love it. Like, it's not like that is now faded because the graphics are better and the complexity is better. I would almost even compare it to like a movie. Like CGI is amazing now. Does that take away from like Terminator 2 CGI? Heck no. The old CGI was awesome, you know? So like just because that technology gets better doesn't mean that like those 90s games aren't incredible.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. I love both. I love playing games now and I love games then. But I wouldn't say one is better than the other.
My take is
That's why I
there's so many hardships within new games as well. It's not all the games, but there's so many add-ons. If you buy a game and you're not really buying the game, you're buying a game, you're buying the starter pack, right? You're buying a piece of the puzzle. They're giving you the car, but they're not giving you the engine because they're like, well, we have DLC coming. Oh, and there's patches coming.
Oh, there's all that.
Oh, and there's glitches coming. And oh, if you want this edition, it's going to cost this. But for me, I'm going to go just from the purest answer. Like, I could name more games on just the Super Nintendo than I can even games in the last 10 years that are like 10 out of 10s for me. Like, I could probably name 40 games that I consider to be like some of the greatest games of all time just on the Super Nintendo alone. Not even talking about the Genesis, the Nintendo and stuff, versus even if you told me PlayStation 4, I'd be like, I can maybe give you 2, maybe 1. I don't know. I don't even have that many that I think are like those games where in 40 years I'm going to be like, dude, remember playing Cuphead's maybe one of them. It's maybe, Mario Odyssey. Pretty much tapped out. And
Breath of
that's
the
it.
Wild,
But see,
Tears
that's
of
the
Kingdom.
question was, are they better? Like, do they work better? Like, you can play those Super Nintendo games on the Switch, and it's great. It's wonderful. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of a trick question if you think about it, because technically it's still new.
It's not a trick question. It is a statement.
What would you say about that? I know you're not playing, but what would you say?
I would say that I would fit more like with the nostalgia factor of it all. Like I'm very rudimentary with video games. Yes, I do like my first person shooters, but yeah, you would rather play on the old systems than play on newer
Hey,
stuff.
you two aren't allowed to get Mario RPG then. I'm
That's
just kidding.
fine. That's fine. All right, we're gonna go on to our next one. It's gonna be AI is a good thing.
Whew, straight up. I like how
Wow.
that is so broad.
Wow.
That is very broad.
Well,
AI is a good thing.
It's a good thing. I don't know.
Wow, this is a brutal question
Yeah.
because there's so much good in it and there's so much bad in it.
Yep.
That's why it's great.
I'm gonna put.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put no.
I'm
because
gonna
I
put
don't-
no.
I don't like where it's going,
Yeah.
even though I use it to make money.
Mid-low trash.
Down for me. Down,
Down
from
for
Ricky.
me.
Ashley's up. Chris is
I have a
down.
reason.
Down. I'm
for
disagree.
mine.
Ooh, Ashley. All right.
I'm not
Let's
saying
hear
I
it. You
like
want to wipe
it.
out all human races? Okay, we get it.
No, yeah. No, I think the only reason I'm doing a thumbs up is because, or agree, is because I think we have to embrace it. It's coming and it's part of like our society, and it's only going to grow more. That's
what they told the Nazis.
Jesus.
Just kidding.
I'll edit that one out.
So I think,
No.
so I feel like I would like to say, there's aspects I don't like, but I think we have to I have to learn and adapt and embrace it and make it part of my business. And I know, because I just have seen the pattern of pushing technology, what that does, older generations, it's not been good. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to learn and adapt to it.
Yeah, I totally get you on that. Totally.
Yeah.
And that's why all of our answers were all of us basically struggling to agree or disagree.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I guess. But yeah, I definitely use it for thumbnails. Not completely. I use all my real stuff and then add things. And I've been using AI even in video editing now. We'll do certain things where it can remove you from part of the screen and erase the background in seconds, where normally keyframing that stuff out would take hours upon hours upon hours is now
Right.
taking 10 seconds. So for the workload, yes. But definitely, obviously, where all of our concerns were with, what will it do at some point? My biggest thing that worried me was when the whole voice thing became so good. And you're
Crazy
listening
good.
to any political figure saying
Yeah.
anything you want them to
Deep
say.
fakes.
Scary.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
scary because
Yeah.
it's back in the day, you could be like, oh, they said this, they said that. But now it's what can you trust with an audio recording? at this point.
true.
Dude, the Joe Rogan ones are gnarly, man. I mean,
The Trump ones, the Biden ones, they're all like, did they say that? I don't know. Like, it can be scary and be something that is a deciding factor for a huge market.
Dude, they even have AI making like music, like
they're amazing,
dude, and they're like pretty similar to the actual artist.
One of the best ones is Plankton singing "I'm begging."
Oh, that's a good one.
Plankton singing that is good.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely.
That's
crazy.
the reason I don't like it. I mean, it's such an amazing tool, and it's like such still in its infancy. So, and we're like kind of witnessing this thing. I think we're all blown away by just how fast and how incredible it is within like a couple of years. It's unbelievable. But with the creativity aspect, I like the way I think it's just taken over with artwork, writing poems and lyrics, and it's just going to take over. I think a lot of the creative stuff that we as humans have done since the beginning of time. And now it just replaces it. It's so much faster and can do it so much, not better. I wouldn't say it does it better, but it can do it so much quicker. Like if I just want, like in the past, I would go even for artwork for like the expo. I'd be like, oh, let's have an artist draw that up. I can literally just go on and be like, oh yeah, give me this. And it's like, there it is. And I'm like, dang, I don't need the artist anymore. Yeah. And I get to just scroll through. So I do feel bad for the creative aspect and the artists that might disappear.
Which we are hiring real artists. Let's make it clear. And I want to say that too about thumbnails because I use all my own stuff. I don't just create a thing out of nowhere, out of thin air, and say, make me this thumbnail. And it looks, no, it's not like that at all. You have to manipulate your own pictures just to make the sky more blue and make different clouds that weren't really there that are more, engaging to look at. But yeah,
it's definitely an untapped potential for
we've
sure.
all seen iRobot.
Dude, I don't.
All right. I want to end on this one. On this topic, it's gonna be a good one. Ocarina of Time deserves to be the in first place of the greatest of all time. Like,
oh, so if you go on a lot of forums, like any big forum, there's a vast majority that will lock in, 100 greatest games of all time list. A lot of times, Ocarina of Time is right there.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Wait, like, is it number one?
Thumbs down.
Oh, all right.
I think on Metacritic, right?
Yeah,
That's
probably.
the number one. I think it's number one.
On Metacritic, it might be.
I think so.
As number one.
Number one, or just in
as
that
a
top?
statement, like Zelda, Ocarina of Time is the greatest titled game of all time.
I love it. I'm probably one of the guys that loves it the most, and I'm still not going to say yes.
Disagree.
Ricky.
Ashley's a
We had a
yes.
thing going.
I'm
And
sorry,
it's gone.
Ashley.
Now you're with Curtis.
That's okay.
Hurts to
It's
see these
okay.
thumb
Sorry,
down.
I'm
Sorry.
good. I'll represent.
All right,
I
let's see
love it. It's just perfection. It's a perfect story. It was so revolutionary. Maybe that's part of the time, like the timeline. Maybe it's just so nostalgic for me and my brother playing it and just being so immersed in this whole new world. And the story ties together beautifully. It's so creative. It just pioneered so many techniques that were up and coming. The music is so iconic.
It is.
So good.
iconic, and it was all written by one guy. Like, it's just, and symphonies have been written around the music.
Unbelievable
It's
symphonies.
incredible. I just can't think of another game that has quite that impact.
Donkey Kong Country
musically,
2.
artistically, story-wise, playability, replayability. Even my kids love it, and they're used to Switch and really nice graphics.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm passionate about it.
a good
absolutely
I like that, though.
That
That was
is,
great.
I know.
That
I'm
was
like,
really
dang,
good.
Good
that's a
argument.
pretty good argument.
And they're gonna
So-
say she was a clothes person. No way.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm about to
That was
squash
great.
that argument, though. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, for me, it's not even really my favorite Zelda game, so I find it hard to put it as the
But
best game of all time. But then if you talk about all gamers in general, like
Yes.
not just my personal opinion,
Yep.
I'm trying to, like, as you were saying what you're saying, I'm like, yeah, what would be considered just a better game than that? And
You
I
would think that like Mario 64 might be a competitor, but I think with the story and the depth, that's why I could see it going into a little more of a
Right.
higher rank for a lot of people.
The lore and like everything's
yeah, like I would say Link to the Past is a better game, but collectively as gamers, does everybody get? Yeah, right. But we feel that way. But
that's-
in gaming in general.
Link to the Past
it's
is
a
awesome.
tough.
Love Link to the Past. So agreed there.
I'm going to see if it shows up on Metacritic if I pull up. And Metacritic is like a conglomeration. Is that what they call
think
it?
so.
What is number 2? I'm just curious.
I think it's Breath of the Wild.
Is it
I don't
Breath
know
of
if I'm right.
Not
on
for
that.
Zelda games for all time.
Right.
games.
I think for all time.
Yeah,
I think
Breath of the Wild.
like,
I think
maybe,
you're right
like-
on that.
my
Like what about like
Our
the
thing
Call
is
of Duty
going,
games?
so we
Are
can-
they up there? Like
You're in
Call of-
disagree.
know.
Get out of here.
Like what
That's
about
one of the
Halo
Zelda games
2?
still.
Is Halo
But I
2
can't
up there?
Okay, so here we go. Greatest game of all time on Metacritic, which is a conglomeration of everything. This does not make any sense. This is not correct.
It does say it.
It said, yes, Ocarina of Time number 1, and then second one was Grand Theft Auto, then Soul Calibur, then Tony Hawk. I don't think these are
Wow.
correct.
Oh.
You don't
Grand
think
Theft
so?
Auto would be up
No,
there.
but see, like I think,
Right.
like I was trying to think of other ones like Call of Duty games and just that people love.
Yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto, I could see that being number 2 actually.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good franchise.
That's the most
Yeah, it never was
selling
for me.
game ever, right?
It's
And I love the Grand Theft Autos,
I feel
so
it's
I
like-
could see that being up
I
there.
feel like it's like Curtis's like crew
but
that made that
I don't
list.
think I'm the demographic.
I'm a Christian. I don't play Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, but yeah, again, of course, personal stuff, but like
I'm just
overall, like collectively for the community, like.
Yeah, it's a
And I would even think Call of Duties are probably up there pretty high. Like
I was a mega
just as,
Call of
like,
Duty player.
Yeah, major games that are the best games ever. But I don't know, Ocarina, you made a good argument.
That was a great argument.
That was a
I
really
mean-
great argument.
Yeah.
I mean, but then some could
passion for it.
argue Mario Bros. NES because it quite literally saved the entire world from the video game crash.
Right.
Like if it wasn't for the Super Mario Bros. On the NES, side-scrolling Mario, that like changed everything.
Yeah, but you also have to see how, like, under the umbrella of like the generation of games at that time, why it falls under all gamers, right?
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time hit more people.
And even now, I
Yeah.
guess it would probably hit with more people than an original. I don't know.
It's
So many kids, like, I think I even asked your kids something like earlier,
Yeah.
and they were like, the original Mario Bros. And I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But I just remember I'm being like, oh, like, that's a thing for even them to mention.
yeah, but they're also indoctrinated by me with like all the old games,
True.
gaming systems,
Yeah.
and the things I like.
Harry
Like,
Potter.
Harry Potter.
She, by the way, she very much was like, is there a way we can work into Harry Potter?
Oh yeah,
And I was like,
actually, on
You
our
don't
next
have to.
topic, we will.
oh, on the next topic we will. You'll get your time.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll get your time.
Don't worry. How about you, Ricky? I mean, you had a disagree up, which
Listen,
Lies.
I love the game. Everything she said was beautiful. This is like the first game you actually played like as a kid all the way to adult. So it was a beautiful story. So good. But at the same time, like to me, like DK Country is like one of like the craziest
Donkey Kong
like
Country.
jumps. It's so good. The music's all there, but I can't. I don't know.
Gerard
I
considers
love
that the best game of all time, too.
I love it. I love it as much as I love Ocarina of Time. I can't put it as number 1 because there's a lot of games that should be at number 1. And I feel like this list, whoever created this list, is mainly the younger crowd. Because if you go with one of
Well, it's
No.
Metacritic. So a Metacritic
it's just a
think it
bunch of
takes-
people voting.
It
Yeah.
takes, it takes every apparently it
critical
takes every
right?
review
But-
and puts it into a bucket.
But here's the thing on the review. It's like for us, everyone here plays a lot of games. I feel like a lot of people don't play all the games. A lot of gamers
That's true.
But
do
that's-
not play. Like
true.
they don't go past N64.
But that's where that's where it becomes an opinionated like thing, right? So it's an umbrella of everyone,
Yeah.
not just.
Well, that's why I think what
but
you
that-
said, where it like just hit the sweet spot, where it's catering to young and to old, and
It was
it's
just in the
like
right
across the
market of
board.
time.
Most people see that and be like, "Oh yeah, that was a good game. I'll give that a 9 or a
Ashley's
10."
just nodding like I nailed this one, guys.
She's like,
Yeah,
Pretty much
right.
smoked these guys.
she's
on
like, I
this one.
can't wait till we get to the Harry Potter one now. All right, we're gonna end it on that one. We're gonna go on to
I
our
don't
next
think I've ever
one.
been able
Agree.
to publicly like defend my
I
favorite
agree.
game. This feels so good. I've never had a platform. There we go.
Next chapter.